Her triumphs.
I took a group of women that didn't believe in themselves, and I just believed in them.
Her trials.
I never wanted to go to practice. I was losing a ton of weight.
Her story.
I just put my faith in God and just trusted the system.
Her why.
I want people to see what I did and say, oh, that's so awesome. I'm going to be better than that. That would be how I hope that this journey ends.
This is Her Why, where we tell the stories from BYU women's sports. Here is your host, Lauren McLean.
I'm here with senior middle blocker Heather Gneiting from the BYU women's volleyball team. Heather, thank you so much for coming on with me.
Thanks for having me.
So your senior year is wrapping up already, which is probably crazy for you to think about. How would you compare this season to other seasons you've played in?
It's definitely different. I'm used to playing with girls that are older than me, and being one of the older ones now, my role shifted a little bit, and I have to be that example and that leader for the younger girls too. So it's definitely different than other years. Has
your senior year gone kind of how you expected it to go, or has it been different?
I think this year's been different, just in many different aspects. I think I didn't really have expectations for this year, more just I want to feel good. I want to play my best and see how far we go and help my team do the same. So,
do you feel like you've been pretty healthy this year? Feel good? Your body's good?
Yeah, I've definitely felt it more as a senior, like little things here and there. Being one of the older ones, Heather Olmstead always calls me the old lady on the team. And I'm definitely feeling it, but they support me a lot, so it's good.
What are you now, 23?
I'm 22.
Oh,
yeah.
I wish I could feel how I felt at 22. So early in the season, the team goes through the whole situation with the Duke game, with a fan being accused of yelling a racial slur, and the media attention surrounding that. What was it like as a player trying to focus on your game and not get distracted by all of that publicity?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of external noise anyway with being an athlete, and this incident definitely added onto that. But our team just stayed together, and we knew what our goal was, is that we want to play volleyball and let volleyball be volleyball and the other things take care of itself. And also, I thought it just really brought us together.
When did you first hear about the accusation? Because obviously it was in the middle of the game, and there was a bunch of stuff surrounding that. When did you guys hear about it as players?
For me, it wasn't until the next day. I think it was
the next day.
Yeah.
And what was your reaction and the other players' reactions too when you guys found out?
We were just a little surprised. We didn't actually know what was going on. We were just trying to play volleyball.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
And you had a match the next night as well. Did you guys receive any negative attention in person or on social media because of it? Like you personally, did you receive any attention like that?
Yeah, I tried to stay off social media as much as I could. I'm just not really into social media anyway as it is. And so when all this happened, I tried to stay off as much as I could. And there was some things, but just trying not to get involved.
For sure. You have to stay focused. And Heather Olmstead, I know, is a coach that you love and you've been with for a long time now. What was your reaction when you found out she was receiving death threats from people?
Yeah, it was really hard to see someone that you look up to so much. And I've known her since I was like 13. And I feel like I've really gotten to know her, and seeing her in just a state that I didn't want to see her at was really hard. And our team really just loves her and wants her to just get through it. And we really know her more than other people knew her. And so, yeah, it was hard.
What did you guys do as players to try and support her during that time?
Yeah, we just try to have fun, just make every moment valuable, and just realizing that it's more than just a game, and that she's a human and we are too, and just that we can be more kind and loving towards everyone.
What were some of the things you guys discussed as a team during that time to make sure you handled everything the right way? Because that definitely is a delicate situation.
Yeah, we went through some new protocols and what we would do if something like that happened or we saw it. And I really loved how proactive Heather Olmstead was with that, and just making sure we always have a plan and we always know what to do.
Do you feel like the team was able to move forward pretty quickly? I mean, that's like a big thing to happen to start the season. Do you feel like as a team you guys were able to move on?
I thought so. We were able to. Just being able to focus on each game at a time. I think we were able to just get in the gym and work harder, take our mind off of it.
Do you feel like it impacted the rest of the season at all?
I think sometimes things come up here and there, but I thought we did a really good job of not letting it impact us.
Yeah, you did the best you could.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts when you heard about Pacific forfeiting the match for their concerns regarding the Duke game? Did you have any initial thoughts?
I think my initial thoughts were different than some of my teammates. I think as a senior, I was just disappointed because I only have so many home games left, and so that was just kind of hard to feel like that was taken away from me. And I know some other girls had other feelings, and I think we took it as it is and moving on.
Not much you can do.
Yeah.
What would you say you've learned the most having lived through all of that this season?
I think I've learned just embracing the relationships I have and just trying to love, because we don't know what everyone's going through, and really trying to understand people and where they come from. And I think it just made things more simple.
Yeah, I love that. So now that you're near the end of your collegiate career, let's start from the beginning. Who would you say was the one who got you started in volleyball initially?
Volleyball initially would probably be my sisters. My parents never played volleyball, and my older sister, Nicole, she's 10 years older than me, decided to play volleyball in high school, and my parents knew nothing about it, and so then we kind of would just follow along with her. I have another sister 2 years older than me, and me and her would just play all the time in the backyard and just for fun.
So it was watching your oldest sister is kind of what piqued your interest in volleyball?
Yeah.
I love that. Your dad, Tom, played basketball here at BYU. Did he try and get you to play basketball too?
I think he was sad I didn't really want to play basketball, but I did play it for a year, and just for fun. Yeah. But volleyball always just seemed way more appealing to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you play any other sports besides basketball and volleyball growing up?
I also did some gymnastics, and I did track. I did the high jump and some sprints, but I would just try things here and there that I liked.
And I love that. Do you feel like that helped you become a better athlete in general, is doing all the different sports?
Yeah, I thought my parents were really good of just letting me try whatever I wanted and just finding my own path more than putting me into a place that I maybe wasn't super interested in. And so I think that really helped me just develop my own coordination and take things from other sports that I've learned.
When was it when you felt like, okay, volleyball is what I want to play at the next level?
It would probably be my freshman year. I was on a club team I played up a year, and all these girls were super, super good. I looked up to them, and I was just surprised that I even made the team. And they were talking about getting recruited and playing at the next level, and so that started me thinking about what I want to do and where I want to play.
Did volleyball come pretty naturally for you? I mean, you're 6'5", is that right? So
yeah.
Obviously the height thing works out in your favor.
Yeah.
Did it come pretty naturally to you, or were there some things that took longer for you to develop?
I think it came a little more naturally. I just was surprised how much I liked it, and I'm super competitive, so that's probably the part I struggled with the most, just not being perfect right at the beginning. So, but yeah, I think it helped that I was tall.
What is your favorite thing? Getting an ace, a solo block, a dig, or a big kill?
Ooh, I think a block. A block is probably the best feeling, especially when the game's tight, and they don't come as often as maybe a kill, or an ace is pretty fun too, but definitely a block.
And you think that's why? Is it because they're more rare? Is that why you like a block more than anything else?
Yeah.
In your bio, it says that you are the state champion in beach volleyball. They actually play competitive beach volleyball in Utah?
Yes, so there was like a high school league that they did I think junior year, and so some teams would play against each other, but it wasn't sanctioned, but we played against teams, yeah.
So do you like playing indoors or outdoors better?
Definitely indoor.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How come?
I just love the team aspect a little bit more, that there's 6 of you and just feels more of a grind than maybe sand volleyball.
Yeah. There's a bunch of teams in California that do both. Did you ever consider that? Like, oh my gosh, I could play indoor and beach volleyball.
I thought about it, but BYU is just super appealing that even though they didn't have beach volleyball, I loved the indoor game.
What was it about BYU that drew you here to Provo?
I just love that BYU is such a special place, and I feel like it could help me in different aspects more than just my volleyball game that can help me grow spiritually, academically, and socially, and that I could become the person that I really wanted to be.
And you mentioned that you've known Heather Olmsted since you were 13. Was that like from recruiting? Like
Yes.
she's had her eye on you since you were 13 years old.
Yes, so I was pretty young. Also, my sister was 2 years older than me, so we would play a lot, and I remember going to camps, and so that's when I first met her.
For those of us who don't know Heather very well, I mean, most fans just kind of know her as what they see on the media and what she portrays that way. What is she like with you guys, her team?
Yeah, she's definitely just a competitor. I love her energy, and she's a lot like me, which I really love. And it was appealing for me to come here at BYU because I think she just got the way that I play, and I wanted that in a coach. But she also is so caring, and she cares definitely more about us and who we are more than our performance. And I think that's hard to see in maybe the outside eye where it's just win or lose, cutthroat sometimes, but she definitely cares about us and our journey.
We've seen how passionate you can get on the volleyball court, but other than volleyball, what are some things you love doing?
I love just being with my family and hanging out with friends. I think I'm actually super chill, maybe more so than when I'm on the volleyball court, and just like to have fun. Yeah.
So you mentioned your family. You come from a family of 6?
Yeah.
Six kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's 4 girls and 2 boys?
Yeah.
And are all of you guys pretty athletic? You mentioned your sisters they play volleyball ahead of you. What about your brothers?
Yeah, my brothers, they both came to BYU. They didn't play sports, but they're super competitive, and they played volleyball and basketball growing up, and it's just super fun to have all of them and to play with each other and get a little competitive.
So your dad played at BYU. He also played internationally as well. Does he ever
Yes.
bring that up? Like, what's his personality like? Like, is he like to kind of rub it in your face that he played professionally? What's he like?
Actually, my dad's a super quiet, I feel like quiet guy, and super humble. I feel like he will bring things up if I ask him about it, but he's not so much well, let me tell you about what I did, my story. So I think that's super admirable. I love that about my dad.
So you were incredible in high school. You were awarded Utah's Miss Volleyball your senior year. What were your expectations like for your freshman year here at BYU? So you have this incredible high school career, then you come to BYU. What was that like?
Yeah, I was super grateful to walk into a team where they had a lot of senior leadership and the culture was very strong. And I just wanted to be like them, just follow along and do my best. I knew that I wasn't going to be the best, even though I was probably more, say, in high school. And just being able to follow along to them and just help them be the best that I could in their culture.
Were you expecting to play as much as you did your freshman year?
I knew that there's others starting middle had left, and I felt like I could compete for that position and play. I didn't know if I'd play all the time, but I was really fighting for that. So.
You were the first volleyball player from BYU to win the National Freshman of the Year award, so apparently you did pretty well. What was it like for you to receive that award?
I remember Coach Heather telling me that and telling my team, and that was just a super cool experience. I loved that year, and just I felt so much help and just from my teammates that they were also a part of this award, that I wasn't just getting it for myself, but it was definitely because of them.
We're going to take a little break, and when we come back, we'll have more from BYU women's volleyball Heather Gneiting. We're here with BYU women's volleyball middle blocker Heather Gneiting. Heather, you were a star on the team for 2 years. Then you decide to go on a mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. What led to that decision for you?
Yeah, that was definitely a crazy experience, how that happened. And I think what led to that was I knew I wanted to grow in a way that was different than what I was experiencing, and I just felt the feelings that I needed to go. And I've been learning from a young age to follow promptings and to grow and learn, and so I was able to leave and go serve a mission and still be able to come back.
So cool. Were you nervous at all about putting your collegiate volleyball career on hold, like at the halfway point? Did that make you nervous at all?
It did, honestly, and I thought, well, what is it going to mean when I come back? Or I'm at such the top of my game, and what's that going to mean? And so it took a lot of faith, and I was definitely nervous for what that would uphold.
But you just knew it was the right thing to do, so you did it.
Yeah.
That's incredible and admirable. And so you leave for your mission to Seattle, Washington, February of 2020. COVID hits about a month later. What was it like for you serving during the COVID pandemic?
Yeah, that was definitely a crazy experience because I felt just so strongly I needed to leave, need my life. And then I got there, and then I was just sitting in my apartment. And so I was like, okay, what does this mean? Why am I here? And I was just able to get closer to God when I had no one else, I feel like, and learn really what his plan was for me. And I think it brought the other things in perspective, for sure.
So the whole city was closed down.
Yeah, a lot of it was closed down. We were in our house a lot, and we'd be able to go out and do like service in people's backyards or walk in the park, but mostly just in my apartment.
My goodness. So did you go move to different cities during that time, or were you basically in the same spot?
Yeah, my first area, I was there 5 transfers, so that's 7.5 months. So I was there for a really long time. And I only went to church, I think, 2 times in that area. So definitely puts it in perspective.
You knew the number of tiles on the wall of your apartment by that time. Did you ever have the thought, I could be playing volleyball right now instead of doing missionary work here in Seattle in my apartment? Did you ever have that thought?
I did have that thought sometimes, but then I just had to go back to that I was meant to be there and that volleyball will be there when I get back. And so.
What was the most impactful thing, would you say, about your mission?
That's a hard one because I feel like I just changed as a person. And I feel like it did put things in perspective that maybe volleyball wasn't the most important thing in my life, which it had been up to that point.
Right.
And more so that the simple things are super important.
What are some things you learned from your mission that have continued to help you now and with volleyball?
Yeah, I feel like I'm better at just being in the moment and being able to develop my relationships and take growth as a perspective that I can be good over time, that outcomes are not the most important thing sometimes, which I feel like I've really had to learn.
Now as the old lady on the team, do you feel like that's made you a better leader as well, the experiences you had on your mission?
Yeah, I definitely learned a lot with just how I can help lead and help develop a relationship with my teammates and seeing the younger girls and just the wide eyes that they have coming into the program, just really helping them along. Yeah.
Were you able to play much volleyball when you were in Seattle? Did you guys play at all?
I played a few times. Like sometimes we go to the park and find people playing on the grass. They set up a net. So we'd randomly go play with them or play with the missionaries sometimes.
Were their minds blown how good you were? They had to have been. What were some of the comments you got when you'd play volleyball?
Some people didn't even know I played college volleyball, and they're like, wow, you guys are really good. And then I'd bring up oh yeah, I played in college. They're like, what? No way. And but yeah, some people still follow along and follow my games, which is kind of funny.
So I was going to ask you, so you play in Spokane, and it's not super close to Seattle, but do you have people from your mission that will come and watch you?
Yeah, there's actually a lot of people. Also, Portland's super close.
Okay,
it's 3 hours. And so I had my old ward mission leader and some other people come. And it's just fun to see them again and see people that I was able to connect with.
What were the toughest things about coming home and getting back into school and volleyball again?
Yeah, it was definitely different just coming home. But I was super happy just to go straight into something because I was used to being busy, growing, wanting to do things. And I think just having volleyball to work hard at and just a growth mindset that there was really no expectations. Like I hadn't played for a year and a half, and but I knew I wanted to play. And so my coach was super good of just letting me just test the waters here and there.
I feel like a year and a half can feel like a long time, but also just a little bit of time, So how was your body and kind of your mentality when you came home, volleyball-wise?
Yes, so I definitely wasn't as strong as I was. I really tried to stay in shape, but I just had to remember that I've grown these skills and that I have the muscle memory and just letting my body do what it did before. And I think that's what my coaches really helped me learn is just like be free, go play, like don't think too much about it. And I think that really helped of just letting me pull out my skills.
How long was it before you're like, okay, I'm back to my old self?
I think hitting actually came super natural for me at first. Blocking was a little harder. And so I feel like my overall game near more the end of season felt really good with my blocking and my hitting. But I think right away I really loved how my hitting was. And yeah.
That's awesome. Do you feel like blocking is the hardest aspect of volleyball? Because there's so much to do with timing. I mean, everything in volleyball is timing, but is blocking the hardest aspect, do you think?
It's definitely a challenge. I'm a middle blocker, so I'm in charge of pretty much the whole net, all the hitters, and have to get up on every hit. And so you have to be quick with your eye work and make really quick moves. And, but yeah.
You've had some opportunities to play with the U.S. Women's Collegiate National Team this past summer. How did that come about?
Yeah, so I was invited by the national coach, Coach Karai, which was really cool. He invited me to go train with them in the summer. And because of how well he heard that I had done coming off of a mission, he was super impressed. And so I took that as like a little confidence boost and being able to go play with them, which was really cool.
What was it like playing under Coach Karai, one of the best volleyball players of all time?
Yeah, it was cool just to see his game of volleyball, see his mind. And he was actually more chill than I thought he would be. And maybe that's just because I was only with him for a week. Yeah. But it was super cool just to see how he sees the game.
So how does that team differ from the U.S. national team?
Yeah, so you have your national team, which are girls that are out of the college game. And they train over the summers. And so this collegiate team was part of just all of the girls that are in college right now. And so we just trained in Anaheim for a week and just learned from them.
How cool. What was your favorite part about that experience?
I really loved just meeting all the different girls because I'm used to playing with just BYU girls all the time. And just seeing the different physical abilities or see how they see the game was also really cool.
Did you learn anything, do you feel like, about volleyball that maybe you didn't know before from just seeing, with Coach Karai and the different girls that you talked about?
Yeah, well, something that they were super just talking about all the time was being a good teammate and having a growth mindset. That was their two big things. And the gold medal mentality that you want to be good in all aspects of your lives. And even though I was only with these girls for like a week, they were like, well, you got to learn how to be a good teammate, like do the extra stuff. And so that was cool.
You were able to play in Mexico and Japan. What was that like playing internationally?
Yeah, it's different. They were really good. They knew their stuff. And just seeing girls that were my age that have a different lifestyle and grew up differently was just interesting to see.
Did it make you want to play internationally, professionally, having that opportunity?
Yeah, I think I definitely want to go play professionally and just see how much more my game can improve.
So your career here at BYU is coming to a close. Looking back at what you've been able to accomplish, what are some of your favorite parts about your time here? What sticks out the most?
I think each year just had its own little magic, I would say. My freshman year, we were able to go to the Final Four, and just that was cool to see how my team fought through each game and being undefeated for a lot of the season. then my sophomore year, just learning through different roles and playing hard teams and winning and losing, and then leaving on my mission. And then also last year was just a good run, and this year is just also the same, just learning and growing.
You've seriously been able to play in some incredible matches in your time here. Is there one that sticks out the most as like, okay, that is my favorite match I played in during my collegiate career?
Ooh, hard question, but I feel like every Utah game is just such a fun game,
Yes.
no matter when we play them. And I loved the Utah game this year. That was just a fun game, and we were really fighting and coming back each set.
Man, that's so telling. Of all the amazing matches that you've played in, it's like there's something about the rivalry, right?
It is, yeah. We love the Utah games.
So awesome. Okay, so you mentioned that you made a lot of friends on the team throughout your years. Do you have a best friend that's kind of emerged from your time playing for the volleyball team?
Ooh, everyone is my best friend, for sure. I just love my middles I've played with, though. I've loved Kennedy Eschenberg and Whitney Lorenas. They've been able to just be my role models. I loved when Kennedy came in and she just took me by her wing, and I just followed her along. I looked up to her so much, and she's one of the kindest people I've ever met. And being able to come back from my mission, I didn't think I was going to play with her again, but she was able to have her COVID year and play again. And so that was just a blessing, being able to play with her. And also Whitney, she is also a middle, but wasn't able to play for 4 years. But she was the most supportive person I've ever seen, and which would be so hard, seeing your friends play in front of you.
For sure.
But was able just to support me, and every time I would come off the bench, she would tell me things that she was seeing, how I could play better, and just giving me tips, which was so cool.
Oh my goodness. What did you learn from her just from seeing her do that?
Just how much you can love and support people, even though without your own intentions in mind, because she definitely wanted to play, and maybe she would see me not playing as well and maybe think, oh, well, I want to go play, but she was able just to help me, and that was just awesome experience.
Whitney is a graduate student, so she's probably one of the grandmas as well, right?
Yeah.
And you're a senior on the teams. You guys being such good friends, do you guys have a pact or something like, we got to make it as far as we can in the NCAA tournament and possibly in the national championship game?
Yeah, Whitney, she definitely is a go-getter. She's competitive, and she starts off strong every game, and she's always someone we can go to when we need it. And we always have the fire in our eyes and helping our team, wanting to get as far as we can, yeah.
I just love that you mentioned that everybody's your best friend, because even just talking to you for this small amount of time, I can tell that you just have such a warm and welcoming personality. What are some of your favorite memories with your teammates outside of volleyball? Because you guys travel an insane amount together, spend so much time together. What are some of your favorite memories outside of volleyball with them?
Oh, I have so many memories. One recently, though, we went to San Francisco, and after we played the San Francisco game, we won, and Heather Olmstead was like, so who wants to go jump in the bay?
Oh my gosh.
And we're like, it's freezing outside and the bay is so cold and we're scared of sharks and all this stuff. But we went and we put on the warmest clothes we had, and we swam out to the buoy, all of us, and swam back. And it was just so funny and so fun. We were freezing, but screaming as we go into the water. But I just will always remember that. That was super fun.
Did everybody do it?
There was a few people that just got in a little bit, but most of us all went in. Even Heather Olmstead swam out to the buoy, and it was just so funny.
How do you hope to be remembered by your coaches, your teammates, and your fans?
I want to be remembered as someone that was working hard and just coming in each day and doing their job, and also outside of the gym, just being a good friend and a good teammate for people to rely on, and to know that it's more than just the game, that we can create these relationships that can last forever, and also learn and grow from what we're learning here.
You mentioned possibly playing professionally. Do you have any plans after graduation?
Yeah, so I graduate in April. I'm planning on, after season's done, probably signing with an agent, and then looking to where I want to go play. So, yeah.
So awesome. I love that. We're here with senior middle blocker Heather Gneiting from the BYU women's volleyball team. Heather, thank you so much for coming on and taking the time, and good luck with the rest of the season and everything in your future.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
You can download and listen to all episodes of Her Why on the BYU Radio app or wherever you find podcasts. Her Why is a production of BYU Radio.